Yo, it's your boy Hunty back with another video. Okay, last video we did was the Stamina Nightblade gank build and it kind of popped off, everyone loved it, so I thought why not stay in the space. People seem to like the space, so let's keep it going. So anyway, here we are back with the another build video, and this time we are going off with the Magica Sorcerer. I'm happy and relieved to say that the Magic Sorcerer is now playable and can compete in Cyrodiil. I do believe that it's still a higher skill gap, okay? People are whinging a little bit about the Magic Sorcerer in regards to, oh, the shield now heals you, and okay, it's a 3.4k heal, you know. It's not a massive heal. It adds survivability to the Sorc, of course, but you know, it's not a Nightblade burst heal, okay? So, of course, it is a lot more playable now, definitely more viable, and certainly more fun than it has been in the previous patches. And yeah, honestly, thoroughly enjoy playing the Magic Sorcerer. I am currently on NA, so it's a new account. I think possibly nearly 800 CP. We just have a look here, 798. Yeah, so I'm not at the CP, a good CP cap. I've been playing this at low CP and it's still been very strong, very effective. Sustain is fantastic, tankability is great, and of course the damage output is pretty awesome also. So it pretty much has everything that you need in this build. Now, disclaimer, it is going to be basically a generic build that you're going to see out there at the moment, but I thought I'd show you that this build and Sorcerer still works at a lower CP level. Okay, so let's go straight into it then. So let's go into the consumables off the bat. I am using the Witch Mother's Potent Brew. There is a gold food that is a lot more expensive, which you can use. I believe it is. Yeah, you can pretty much use whatever gold food you want, really. But I'm using Witch Mother's Potent Brew at the moment because it's really cheap and it works. It gives you max magic and max health and then magic recovery, which is pretty much everything you need. You're getting stam recovery from one of the sets that we're using, so we pretty much covered when it comes to regens. So this food is really cheap and it's really effective. And that's it. I think the only thing we're missing from a gold food is that we would get health recovery as well. Okay, but for the price gold food's going for at the moment, it really isn't worth it, honestly. And then we'll go to the pots. So we are using the tripots. Tripots are going to be the best in slot. It's going to refill health, magicka, and stamina, and then give us recoveries as well. So it's pretty much the best in slot, and it's just going to help our survivability tenfold. And then let's go into the, I guess, the stat sheet. Okay, so these are unbuff stats. We do have 2 sets on that we have to proc, and the stats will be buffed. I will put a screenshot in the video, maybe before or after. I won't know yet. I'll do the video after, the screenshot after. But these are basically the stats right now, and then if we just buff up. Okay, and then we go here. These are the stats, okay? So as you can see, pretty respectable stats. We have 49k max mag right now with how one of the sets proccing. I believe it's 54,000 with one of the sets, and then 1.8 recovery without one of the sets proccing to 2.4 recovery, and we get 1.1 stun regen. But you'll see all this in the screenshot. And then of course we have 7,700 spell penetration, which is very respectable, and great stats all round, honestly. So that is the stat sheet, and of course we are running all points into max mag, and we are of course a stage 3 vampire for the undeath passive. Okay, if you aren't running the undeath passive, you are basically trolling yourself in PvP. Okay, so unless you're running this, which is reduce your damage taken by 30% based on your missing health. Okay, this is a huge passive. This is the difference between being insta-nuked and getting ganked and surviving, basically. This is the difference. Okay, so phenomenal passive, very overpowered. If you're not running it in PvP, you are trolling. Let's go into the gear then. So gear, we are running front bar, crafty elf leak, lightning staff, okay, sharpened with a shock enchantment. Now, I do recommend going charged here. I do believe that is going to give you more damage. But sharpened is what I got, so I ain't going to waste transmutes or gold on getting a charged one. Back bar, we are running the Ret Vitality. Okay, this is going to give us recovery, weapon and spell damage, and then while in combat, applying a major buff or debuff to a target grants you 260 magicka and stamina recovery for 15 seconds, and then also you can proc it with a minor buff and minor debuff as well, giving you an additional 130 magicka and stamina recovery. So when we're proccing this through various means, with skills that naturally we use to buff ourselves, we're going to be proccing this all the time and basically have nearly 100% uptime on this, and we're just going to have sustain for days. Okay, we are running a Doma House mask, okay, and this is going to give us the max stamina, max magicka. Then we're running the trainee chest reinforced with a triglyph. This is going to give us that one piece, the biggest one piece max health you can get. And then we've got a swarm mother's shoulder. Again, this is going to give us our max magicka and max stamina. Now, I do recommend running this in medium. I recommend running more medium than light. So whether that is one heavy and one heavy for medium, two light, I would recommend more medium, honestly, because there's no negatives to running medium armor, where if you're running light armor, you're taking more physical damage. So I would definitely push more towards running more medium armor. Okay, and then we're running Wretch Vitality, Belt, Crafty Hands, Crafty Legs, and Crafty Feet. Then we're going on to the Vitality Necklace with a Recovery Glyph. Now, you can actually drop this Recovery Glyph. I've been playing around with this. This definitely 100% could be a spell damage glyph. With all the recovery we've got, it 100% could be. So yeah, actually I'm going to change that to a spell damage glyph. And then, yes, weapon and spell damage, weapon and spell damage. So these three should all be weapon and spell damage. I highly recommend it. The sustain is phenomenal once Wretch Vitality is procced. Then the mythic we're running is Death Dealer's Feet. Okay, this is pretty much a must on the Magic Sorcerer. Honestly, there's no reason not to run it. There's nothing you can put in the place of this mythic that is going to give you the same effect. Now, you do have the Ring of Marking, which is definitely 100% viable and the second best thing you can run, but it's still, just because of the way the shield has been reworked, having the biggest shield, the biggest heal you can get from it, is just going to give you basically the most you can get from it. And Death Dealer's Feet is going to give you the best shield possible. Okay? Where if you run Marking's not going to add to your shield at all. It is going to make you tankier if you get caught without a shield, and it is going to give you slightly, I don't know if it's going to give you slightly more damage because the max magic you get from this compared to the spell damage it gives you, maybe the damage works out similar, but Death Dealer's Fate is definitely going to give you more survivability, better heals, and of course more sustain if you have to cast your shield less, if you're getting more from your shield. Okay, that's the gear. Let's go straight into the skills. Okay, skills, we are running Boundless Storm. This is going to be our Major Resolve buff. And then it's going to give us Major Expedition also. Then we have Critical Surge. This is going to be our Major Sorcery buff. Also gives you a bit of healing as well when you get criticals. Bound Aegis, this is going to be basically a max magicka buff. It's going to increase our max magicka by 8% and give us minor resolve and minor protection, increasing your physical and spell resistance, and also reducing your damage taken by 5% just for having this slotted. This is effective on both bars just for having it slotted. Dark Conversion, okay, this is going to be our sustain tool. Very good for, you know, if you've used a lot of magicka and you need to get some magicka back quickly. Just use 1 or 2 dark conversions, boom, you're back in the fight, living the dream. Also gives you minor berserk, so again it's going to help keep that vitality up because you're giving yourself a minor buff, which is going to prop vitality. And the same as critical surge, this is a major buff, so this is also going to proc vitality, retch vitality. So that's a major and minor buff right there that you will proc yourself with, and you will proc both effects of retch vitality. Then we have Hunting Curse on the back bar. This is going to be the skill I cast as I'm coming off the back bar to the last skill. What I'll do is I'll cast this weapon swap, and it'll cancel the animation straight onto the enemy. Boom, bosh your dad. And it's just going to give you so much burst damage. This ability hits like a truck. Then we're running at Life Giver. Okay, this is, especially at my CP, this has helped me substantially in sustaining outnumbered fights, because when I cast this, I can go full offensive, and actually most of the time I don't even have to cast a shield. I can cast this and just go full ham on someone and get them off me, or get an insta-nuke. So for me, I would try the Ice Staff. But the Ice Staff, of course, blocker mitigation was fantastic and it was tankier, but this was actually making it easier for me to flip the table, pop this ulti, turn on the front foot, and absolutely just Shadouken someone, while this is giving me, you know, basically invincibility for a couple of seconds. Front bar, we are of course running Crystal Fragments. This is going to be our big burst damage ability. You are never casting this ability unless you are pressing the insta-proc. Then we have Hardened Ward, which is going to be, of course, our shield and our massive tankability tool. This is what's going to keep us alive. Do not let this drop off. If you let this drop, expect to die. Okay, Magic Sorcerer plays with its shield, and it goes hand in hand. Okay. Then we have the Crushing Shock, which is going to be our weavable ability with our light attacks. This is just going to allow us to just keep non-stop pressure on the opponent. And of course, it does interrupts as well, which is kind of big when you 1vxing, you want to interrupt someone getting the res or being super irritating, doing a cast or anything like that. You know, Crushing Shock is pretty useful. You can go Force Pulse, which is, I believe, a little bit more damage to people in an area effect, but certainly definitely not worth it in my eyes. Then we've got Streak, which is our mobility tool, RCC, and a bit of damage. Really good for like executing. So basically, when you burn someone down and you have an insta-frag, you can basically like burn them down, streak through them, CC, turn around, insta-frag them, and they don't really get a time to react if you're quick enough. You just insta-burst them. So very, very good skill. And also, this is going to be our tool we use to get ourselves a bit of distance from multiple opponents. We have Inner Light on the front bar, okay? Again, well slotted. This is going to give us a major Savagery and major Prophecy buff, increasing our spell critical rating. But that's not really what we've got it for. We've got it for the max Magicka is increased by 5% by having this ability. And then also, for having a Mage's Guild ability, we also get even more max Magicka here. So, as you can see, increase your max Magicka and Magicka recovery by 2% for each Mage's Guild ability slotted. And we have the Comet and Inner Light, so we're increasing both of them by 4%. So moving on to the front bar ultimate, again, it's Meteor. So we're running Meteor. I really like Meteor, honestly. Very good burst. But if you are having a 1v1 with someone who is a pretty good player, they understand the game and they know how to play, Meteor is going to be completely useless. I'm not gonna lie to you. Definitely use Energy Overload instead, because that's going to allow you to put on so much more pressure. It's harder to be countered because you're light attack weaving it, and it's just overall better against better players. But in general, in Cyrodiil, the Meteor is so much fun and gives you that max Magicka, so it is helping you get bigger shields, of course. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun dropping a Meteor and streaking on someone insta-frag, and they just blow up and they don't understand what's just happened to them. So it's a very, very fun skill. That's the skills. Now let's go into the champion points. Now, like I say, I haven't got the most champion points. I'm still leveling, so this is basically what I've got. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I literally only have Master Arms as as one offensive CP, and the rest are defensive. So Duelist Rebuff, Ironclad, and then we have these. We don't even have this one yet, but we have this one. and we're just putting them Untamed Aggression until we've got enough to put into the other passive here. So like you see here, I don't even have some of the CP that I would love to have right now. But it still works perfectly fine, trust me. So anyone who is 1400 CP and above, you're going to be very, very strong here, and you're not going to require 2 of these defensive buffs. I would certainly just go with Master Arms and run Deadly Aim to pump out more damage, 100%, definitely. Then we got the red tree. So here we're going with a max vitality, and then we're running with the Shield Master and the Bastion. Okay, we want our shield size to be increased as much as possible, so by 15%. Then I'm just on the way to reduce the cost. And then we have Pain's Refuge. And you can do sustain stuff with, but I don't need any more sustain tools. So honestly, you could go with maybe Fortified to make yourself a little tankier. But like I've got it here right now, it's been perfectly fine. So with just Boundless Vitality, with the Pain's Refuge, and then the Shield Master and Bastion, it seems to work for me perfectly fine. And that's the champion points. I don't believe there's anything else I need to cover. But if there is, comment down below and I'll answer all your questions. If there's always something I've missed. But I hope you enjoyed the build video. Please make sure you like or dislike any type of interaction. Just, you know, if you don't like the video, comment down below. Tell me why. If there's something better, tell me why and I'll try it out. I don't claim to have the best builds or be the best player. So I'm open-minded. You know, anyone has any ideas, comment down below. And yeah, that's it. Peace out. Hope you've all had a good day. Bye-bye.